Thank you, Kevin. Can you see my screen okay?
Yes, you look fine.
Woohoo! Thank you. All right. Good afternoon, everyone. As Kevin said, my name is Bridgette Mason, and I am the Assistant State Climatologist. First, thank you very much for inviting the office and our partners to provide you with these ag weather climate updates. We so appreciate the invitation and love getting to interact with you all. With that, it has been quite the active week with heat and humidity and severe weather. There were several rounds of storms that produced loads of rainfall and damaging tornadoes and wind and hail. Everyone in Wisconsin saw at least an inch of rain this past week, but many saw 2 inches or more. And there were even bands of 4 to 6 inches across west central and south central Wisconsin, as well as a stretch from Crawford to Sheboygan counties. And this all ended up being about 1 to 5 inches above our 30-year average, with the largest anomalies around Columbia County. And embedded in the heavy precipitation were numerous tornadoes. From what I have found from the National Weather Service and other reports, it seems that there were 10 tornadoes in Wisconsin in the last week, but I'm keeping an eye out from the National Weather Service for an official number. And most of these tornadoes occurred in southern Wisconsin, and 8 of the 10 occurred during Saturday night storms. With Monday night system, we saw strong winds of about 60 to 70 miles per hour, and hail ranged from about an inch to an inch and a half in diameter. Sadly, I am seeing reports that many farms were impacted by these storms, so my heart really goes out to you if you are one of those farms impacted by these storms. And of course, it's been warm, at least for those of us in southern and eastern parts of Wisconsin, at about 1 to 10 degrees above the 30-year average or the 30-year normal. Those of you that are in far north and northwest Wisconsin have been slightly cooler than normal. And with the heat, we've seen temperatures soar into the 80s for most of the state and even the 90s to the south and around Lake Winnebago. Steve, Ed, and I at the State Climatology Office have been doing a little bit of digging into historical heat waves, and our preliminary findings are that while we have seen some hot and muggy weather over the last few days, it's actually been a pretty run-of-the-mill heat wave for Wisconsin. So, with the active weather we've experienced over the last week, we saw large gains in soil moisture conditions across central and southern Wisconsin, again correlated with the areas with the highest rainfall. Most of the state is in the 70th percentile or higher, meaning top 70 wettest in 100 years, with the exception of a few counties in the far north and southeast seeing near normal soil moisture conditions. And if you're still keeping track of soil temperatures at 4 inches, we're in the upper 60s for most of Door County and areas north of Eau Claire and Wausau, and the lower 70s for areas south. Very fortunately, we've continued to steer clear of drought here in Wisconsin, with the exception of a few abnormally dry patches, mostly in the driftless and central sands areas. However, with all of the precipitation, we have some flooding concerns, including along the Mississippi, Kickapoo, Yellow, Wisconsin, and Rock rivers. And there's been reports of mud and rock slides in the driftless areas, as well as road closures and other big impacts. And finally, according to the USDA NASS crop progress and condition reports, as of Sunday, corn and beans are at about 90% emerged, which is just around the 5-year average, and conditions for both crops are at about 65% good to excellent. Finally, just a quick peek at the forecast shows that a couple of rounds of rain and storms are expected over the next week. It looks like everyone will see at least a half an inch, but if you're to the east of the Twin Cities or in south central or southeastern Wisconsin, you may see upwards of 2 inches. And over the next 2 weeks or so, it's looking like we're leaning towards warmer than normal conditions and possibly wetter than normal. We do have a slight risk for excessive rainfall amounts in place for all of Wisconsin between July 2nd and July 8th. So be on the lookout for updated forecasts from your local meteorologist or your local National Weather Service office, and be aware of possible flooding if this does come to fruition. And in the long term, the Climate Prediction Center suggests that the warmer than normal conditions may persist through September, but there is no strong signal in terms of precipitation, so Wisconsin has equal chances of a wet, dry, or near normal summer. that is all from me. So thank you all again very much for your time and for inviting the office and our partners to provide you with these updates. If anyone has any questions or comments, I'm happy to try to take them now. Otherwise, I'll stick around for anything that may come up in the chat. Thanks so much.